Hello friends, welcome back to McKilliplife. My name is Amber and I'm here to talk about my nutrition and fitness journey. I've been working with a personal trainer for the past 13 weeks and I like to hop on here and talk about the goals that I'm tracking and my experiences from this last week. So let's get into it. Like I said, it's week 13. It's the end of the third week of weightlifting and hydration was not a problem. Sleep continues to be a challenge. I've even, under the advisement of my neurologist and my primary care doctor, I'm trying a higher dose of amitriptyline, which really makes it very difficult to wake up in the morning. So like this morning, I asked Wes, please help me try to wake up earlier. And he came in here around 8 o'clock and I finally got out of bed around 9:30 because I'd wake up and then go back to sleep for 30 minutes and then wake up and go back to sleep for 30 minutes. And even last night, I tried adjusting my melatonin, and it basically made it so I didn't sleep well during the night, but it didn't change how I was waking up, which was frustrating. So I would really like to get back to a consistent waking and sleeping cycle, but it's still not happening. I will be weighing in tomorrow, and I have continued weighing in daily, which is an eye-opener since this last week there was once again 2 days I could not track because of parties. And I got down to as low as 202, which was really exciting, but then I spiked because of the parties all the way up to like 207, which is frustrating. I've come down a little bit, but not much. And I don't know how much I'll actually come down by tomorrow because my period is about to start. So I think that weight's going to take a little bit of time to get off, but it'd be wonderful, but I just don't expect to go down multiple pounds in one day. Although I went up multiple pounds in a day. So I don't know. I've been able to exercise, and we'll come back to that. I have not gotten back into the habit of journaling, which is on some level frustrating, but on another side, I understand because I have been extremely tired and I'm just trying to do the basics and doing deep emotional work. Really, I just don't have the energy to do it. Nutrition, I tracked every day but those 2 days, and the lowest I had was 1557 and the highest was 1665, so pretty consistent on the calories. Fiber, once again, I wasn't tracking for 2 of the days, so the lowest was 14 and the highest was 36. And I went in for a doctor's appointment yesterday to follow up on my iron levels because I have a history of anemia, and a while ago I had an iron infusion, so they've been tracking me every so often to see how I'm doing, and my levels keep coming down from when I had the infusion, but when you have an infusion, it spikes it really, really high, so it's to be expected for it to come down. But I've been consistently coming down. It's made me think about, is there things I can include in my diet that has iron in it? And I was like looking at my nutrition from yesterday and it said, oh, your goal is 18 and you got 8. So obviously I'm not eating an iron-rich diet. So it got me thinking and researching a little bit, and the things that come up are obviously red meat, but there's only so much red meat I can eat. Then it goes into plant-based iron, and they basically said your body does not absorb and take in iron from plants as well as it does from meat. So if you are headed towards the plant-based path, you have to have basically double in order to absorb what you need. So there's lots of sources of iron in plants. We have nuts and seeds and fruit and vegetables and beans. So I got to thinking I want to go back to including some of my home meal bread in my diet. I was including it when I was having the French toast every morning, but I've switched recently to the cottage cheese pancakes and also the overnight oats, and that's all oat based. So I'm going to try to include some bread in my lunches or something, because the bread hits a lot of the targets I'm looking for. It has protein, it has fiber, it has calcium, and it has iron. So it's a pretty well-rounded thing to be using. And yesterday I was very surprised at my fiber count. I was trying to include more fiber in my diet, but it was like a lot higher than I expected it to be. And upon reflection, I realized that it was a lot higher because I had beans and I also had a protein bar. And protein bars tend to include a lot of fiber to make up for the fact it has protein. So I don't know if I want to be including a bunch of bars, but I can definitely look for ways to include beans in my diet because they are also helpful with iron. But the one thing that caught my attention was chocolate has iron in it, and I love chocolate. So this next shopping trip, I'll be looking for chocolate that has a high iron count that won't throw my calories out the window. We'll see what I can come up with, because I would love to have a habit of having a snack of chocolate. That'd be wonderful. I did rest on Sunday, pretty well. You know, it was a pretty lazy day, so that's a success. Getting back to the exercise, this last week I've made a concerted effort to increase the weight of the weights I'm using, and I had a first with my trainer, and I was able to lift a barbell that was 45 pounds in a deadlift position. So that was exciting. It's a milestone. You know, it's moving up to the realms of being able to work out in a larger gym rather than just at home with home weights. And I was able to do it with no effects on my lower back, which is wonderful. On the other side of things, since I've been increasing the weights, my workouts, the days I lift weights, I am exhausted. I am so tired, I'm barely doing anything else the rest of the day, which might be, it's not a good pattern because in the grand scheme of things, I'll be less active, and yeah, my muscles might be growing, but my overall health isn't going to improve by being exhausted 3 days out of the week. So like when I look back at my steps, the steps on the days I work out are very low. I don't get my 7,000 steps. In the days I'm not lifting weights, it's better. But even like, I need to have energy for other things in my life. So that's going to be a point of conversation with my trainer, because I want to lift heavier, because I don't want to be doing a lot of light little things and going, okay, I'm going through the motions but getting no results. You know, I want to have results, but I need to find that balance to where I actually have energy for the rest of my life. So I think that's about it. I was going to say, my weight did spike with the parties. I think I've already mentioned that. That's to be expected, and with my period, it's also expected. First time doing the barbell, more tired, and the amitriptyline's not helping anything in terms of energy and waking up. On the other side of things, I want to say, let me look here. So I've been doing the double amitriptyline for about a week, and my most common time to get bad migraines is around my period. And so far I've had 1 day, which is actually quite an improvement, because usually I have a multi-day migraine at the beginning of my period. So at the moment, it seems like the double amitriptyline is going to help on that matter, but I have to weigh the benefits of less migraines against being tired and not waking up in the morning, and increase in constipation and all those other side effects you get with the medication, as to whether or not it's worth it. So I'm trying to do the same thing I did when I first got on amitriptyline and give it a month before I make any choices. But so far on the migraine front, it seems to be helping, but I don't know if it's the right thing in the long run. So this coming week, once again, I have 2 days I can't track accurately, because on this coming Wednesday, we have an evening party at church, and then the coming Friday, I'm going to be having a special lunch with our daughter on her birthday. So it's just the holiday season where every week it's a little bit challenging, because you have things that you're eating out with other people and you're not preparing, and you don't have macros on. So I'm trying to live with grace with myself and just say, do your best. I was very excited this last week to see my weight go all the way down to 202. It gives me hope that I could possibly get down to the 200. But when it spikes 5 or 6 pounds every time I'm not eating on plan, it's frustrating. So we'll see how I recover from this last week. Like I said, I have to give myself grace also in terms of a period's coming on, so my body's going to have extra water weight anyways. That's the joy of being a woman. My husband can decide to eat differently and move differently, and he just has a consistent downward trend. And I don't, because I'm a woman. And that's just the love of it. So yeah, I think the theme this week is keeping on, doing my best, but also having grace with myself, because there have been days where I could not be active. I could not, go for it. It's like yesterday, I really wanted to go out and do some work outside the home, and I was not up to it. So I started wrapping Christmas presents and getting that sorted out and making plans for the different presents we're going to be getting. So I try to be active, even though I couldn't be as active as I wanted to be. And there's also the other point of, if I push myself when I'm tired consistently, then that's a recipe for sickness, and I don't want that. I'd rather just be on a slower track and be healthy than try to get on the fast track and fall off of it because I'm sick. Anywho, I hope your holiday season is going well and you are gracefully navigating all these celebrations coming your way. Comment below if you have any strategies that are working for you and anything that you might remind yourself of during this time to help encourage yourself to know this is just a season and we are going to move into a new year, and we'll have more opportunities to pursue our health goals with vigor. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shorter video, and I hope that it finds you in a good place. Until next time, feel free to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.